Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to share with you 10 of my favorite garden crops that I am growing and that I have grown in the past. And they all save me money one way or another. So let's get started. Number one is tomatoes. I love tomatoes. I love them fresh on their own with a little bit of salt, pepper. I love them in salads. I love them in stews, in sauces, in salsa, all kinds of things. And if you grow enough, you can have them throughout the entire winter, lasting until your next crop, if you can them yourself or freeze them as well. You can save the seeds if you wish to do so, and then you can grow them the next year as well, and without having to buy new seeds. But definitely having tomatoes and just picking a fresh tomato off your plant and cutting it up and having, a tomato sandwich is one of my favorite things to do in the summer season. Number two is beans, green beans and yellow beans I grow, and then they are constantly producing throughout the summer, and then after that there's still more, so we freeze them throughout the year. I haven't quite gotten to canning beans yet, plus I prefer the taste of frozen beans over canned beans. But yes, there's always an abundance of beans, and we freeze them, and then I have fresh beans for the entire winter, and we don't have to buy any until, we don't have to buy any because the next summer we grow more, and then we have more, and just keep doing that. And then those as well, you can keep the seeds, dry out a few beans, and then you don't have to buy any beans for new plants the next year. Number three, onions. Onions are absolutely fabulous. I use them in pretty much all of my cooking. And the green onions, like chives and then actual green onions, you plant them once and then they come back every year. Even in our -40 weather, they still come back every year, so those are great to have. I still have some left in my freezer from last year, and now I already have a bunch of plants coming back or that are already back, so those are great to have. And then of course, if you like the actual yellow onions, you can find those for fairly cheap to plant as well. Number four are lettuces and leafy greens. I love lettuce or salad during the summers when it's really hot and you don't feel like eating a big warm meal. So having lettuce just growing, go to your back garden and grab a bunch of lettuce and make yourself a salad along with your tomatoes. And lettuce actually grows really quick. I grow green leafy lettuce and then romaine as well. And then also spinach and Swiss chard, which you can eat fresh or you can freeze and then I still have Swiss chard from last year again. And I used spinach and Swiss chard throughout the whole winter from the garden. And they're super cheap to buy seeds if you buy them at the end of the year, or not at the end of the season, I should say. Number five are cucumbers. Again, these ones you can keep the seeds and keep regrowing them without having to buy seeds. But I love cucumbers. Again, just being able to go outside and pick a fresh cucumber and make yourself a salad or a cucumber sandwich is the most amazing thing to be able to do. And they taste so much better than the store-bought kinds. I love cucumbers, and you don't need a whole lot of plants. I think I only had 1 or 2 plants last year, and I got my fair share of cucumbers, and they lasted me well into the fall, and I didn't have to buy any for quite a few months in between summer and fall. And cucumbers, obviously, you can, if you pick them early enough, you can make pickles. And then there's also a German canned recipe that you can actually cook them and can them, but I don't think that's everybody's thing. But there are other ways to preserve cucumbers throughout the year as well if you have too many. Number 6 is zucchinis. Zucchinis, again, they're You don't need a whole lot of plants, only a few, and you will get so many. I only had 2 plants last year, and I had so many I even gave some away, and I had a bunch frozen that I used throughout the winter for a lot of baking, like breads and muffins and zucchini pancakes. And but when they are fresh, you can eat them fresh, you can saute them, you can roast them. And again, they are another crop that's really delicious and grows in abundance. And again, you can keep these seeds so that you never have to buy seeds again. And yeah, so zucchinis are great to have. Number 7 are melons. Watermelon especially is my absolute favorite melon of all time. And again, these you can keep the seeds and you never have to buy seeds again. And watermelon has gone quite up sometimes. It's very expensive here at times, and it's just really great to be able to grow your own, even if you don't get a whole lot. I think last year I only got 3 or 4, but that was still good, I don't know, over $20-$30 that I saved, because each watermelon is about $5 to $10 here, even for the small ones. So yeah, that, and the seeds again costed me nothing. Yeah, so melons, there's all kinds of different types, and for all of them you don't have to keep rebuying the seeds. Just keep some of the seeds from the fruit and keep growing them. Number 8 are berries. I love raspberries. They're my all-time favorite. And you don't need a whole lot of plants. The first and second years are a little bit not so much fruit producing, but after that, not only do they grow lots of berries, but they multiply. The plants actually multiply on their own. So, and these, again, you only have to plant them once, and you don't have to keep buying them every year. And once they do start producing the fruit, you can freeze it and have raspberries all winter long, and then you get fresh for, a time period in the summer, and they are absolutely delicious. And then again, blueberries are another one of my favorite. I just bought a few of those plants last year. I'm looking forward to eating those this year. And then obviously there's strawberries, and depending on where you live, there are all kinds of berries that you could plant and grow on your own, and you only have to plant once, and then they come back each year. Number 9, beets. I absolutely love beets, and they are so easy to grow. I literally just throw the seeds in the earth outside. I don't even start seedlings. I just throw them outside in a couple rows, and they just grow. And you can eat their greens that are on top, and saute them in stir fries or whatever, and then you can save the vegetable on the bottom. I love eating them fresh. I love eating them in smoothies. I love eating them roasted or sauteed. And then again, you can freeze them, you can can them, and have them all winter long until your next harvest. And the last but not least are carrots. Now, these are not probably the most money saving, but they are absolutely delicious. Garden grown carrots, or home garden grown, are way better than anything I've ever tasted in the supermarket, and they are so sweet and juicy, and just, they taste amazing. Although you would have to plant a lot, because carrots are somewhat fairly cheap to buy in the grocery store, but the taste comparison is by far way better if you grow them yourself. And then I know you can keep the seeds somehow, but I haven't figured that out yet. So I just buy them at the end of the season and then plant them, so it saves on the cost. So those are my top 10 garden crops that save me money and are my favorite. I know there's so many more, so let me know in the comments down below, what are your favorite garden crops to grow that save you a lot of money, or that you think just taste a whole lot better coming from your garden than from the grocery store. I love hearing from you, and as always, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching. I've actually reached 1,000 subscribers. I can't believe it after all these years. And thank you, just thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you again, and I will, again, I'm working on the home tour, so that will be out this next week. And as always, I hope you guys have a frugabulous day, a frugabulous long weekend, if there is a long weekend where you live. And yes, I love you so much, and thank you deeply and sincerely. Bye.